This one's going to be rough. I'm going to try to make it short so you don't have to sit with it for as long as possible. But I am warning you, this is going to be rough, especially those of you who are watching who are trans. This is not going to be easy for you. This is not going to be easy for me for obvious reasons. Y'all know who I'm dating. First of all, let me show you something funny. Riley Gaines. Today is the International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, Intersexism, and Transphobia. Riley Gaines says, just no. So Riley Gaines is happy being transphobic, biphobic, homophobic. And she says, a day against intersexism, so unserious. Intersexism. You guys want to know what that means? So let's say that you're intersex, and everybody around you keeps making assumptions about your fucking genitals, about whether or not you can have kids, about what role you would play in a relationship, whether you're the pitcher or the catcher. A whole bunch of horribly fucking invasive shit. That's intersexism. A form of sexism where you belittle and dehumanize a person based on the fact that they are intersex. Now, the fact that Riley Gaines refuses to use even a singular Google search shouldn't surprise anybody. I actually had some words to say about this that I think y'all probably should take a look at. Not to aggrandize myself, but kind of wanted to do it anyway. Actually, I made yep, there we go. There's the post. Yeah, sexism against people who are intersex. I know you're ranked 6th in swimming, but I wasn't aware you also ranked dead last in reading comprehension. Did a trans girl outread you too? That's a statement that I'm willing to stand by. Now, I bring up all of that so that you can have a little bit of levity. Because if I don't do that, I would be remiss given that we need to talk about this. So, I've been seeing this person's picture come across my feed for the past couple days, over and over and over and over. And you can already read from the headline about what we're going to be looking at. If you're an audio-only listener, it says slain trans student identified as Juniper Blessing, the most amazing human being. So, let's take a read. The 19-year-old trans student who was fatally stabbed in the laundry room of an off-campus housing complex near the University of Washington on Sunday night has been identified by the medical examiner's office as Juniper Blessing. Blessing was a recent graduate of the New Mexico School for the Arts in Santa Fe, according to the Santa Fe New Mexican, who obtained a statement from her family. Her family said Juniper is simply one of the most amazing human beings we've ever known, highly intelligent, very talented, and deeply sensitive to the needs of others. They said that Juniper's loss not only devastates them, but diminishes the world. Her local CBS affiliate, Kiro, the King County Medical Examiner's report states that Blessing was stabbed over 40 times. Now, those of you who are familiar with what a hate crime is, or any passionate crime at all, you probably already have an idea about the road this is going to go down. There's only ever a particular kind of person who commits a murder by stabbing 40 goddamn fucking times. That is not, let me put this plainly, normal people don't fucking stab people. Even less normal people show that kind of anger when they do it. Her body was found shortly after 10 p.m. on Sunday night in a laundry room in Nordheim Court, a privately managed apartment complex affiliated with the university. Authorities launched a multi-day manhunt for the individual caught on surveillance footage. The search came to an end when 31-year-old Christopher Michael Leahy turned himself into the Bellevue police on Wednesday night after images of him were made public. The following morning, the suspect was transferred to King County Jail in downtown Seattle, where records show he's being held on a $10 million bail for a homicide investigation. Per Kiro, which reviewed the initial court documents in the case, Blessing was spotted bringing clothes to the laundry room shortly before 9 p.m. and returning an hour later. Police said the camera within the laundry room itself wasn't plugged in. According to Como News, arrest records state the suspect was captured in surveillance footage, disconnecting that specific camera in advance of the alleged murder. Blessing's body was reportedly discovered by another Nordheim Court resident who entered the laundry room after holding the door open for a man whom she says thanked her on the way out. Blessing was a major in the school's Department of Atmospheric Clients. The Seattle Gay News reports said she used she/they pronouns, citing conversations with their friends. On the unofficial subreddit for the University of Washington, one friend memorialized Blessing as someone who only wished the best for everyone in her life. Her hobbies included meteorology, music, singing, and video games, like Hollow Knight. This information is being given to you by them.us to humanize the person. Because the reason that she was stabbed as many times as she was is because somebody had dehumanized her first. And someone has to take the effort to reverse that damage, even if they can never bring the person back. She was so caring, always wanted to listen, always there if you needed her, a friend wrote. Alongside the Seattle-based Gender Justice League nonprofit, the Trans Collective at UW has planned an on-campus event on Saturday for those who wish to grieve Blessing. The groups have asked media not to attend and for no filming or photography to take place. So, I wonder if we have any statements from Christopher Michael Lee. There's the dude who killed her. Looks like a normal guy. Looks like a normal guy. Hopefully that is a reminder to all of you that anybody can be a monster. A man suspected of fatally stabbing a 19-year-old trans student and the University of Washington turned himself to the police just hours after the SPD released surveillance photos of the suspect in an effort to find him. The arrest follows a multi-day manhunt for the suspect after the student was found dead this past Sunday. The university have yet to release the identity of the student to the public, citing notification of next of kin. Okay, this is obviously before we found out that it was Blessing. Let's see here. While information about the identity is forthcoming, her roommate spoke confidently, saying that she was down to earth. Okay. Abigail Nonk, thank you very much for the follow. So we don't have any information in this article. Let me see if there's something else. Okay, so apparently on Reddit in r/Seattle, there are people who said that they knew him. Iron Intern says, I'm shook. His name is Christopher Lee. Went to high school with him before he was asked to leave in 11th grade due to psych issues. It was a private school. One of my best friends recognized him from the CCTV images yesterday and called SPD, but of course they directed him to the homicide line where no one picked up, and he had to leave a message. Let's see here. His LinkedIn profile pretends he's worked at Amazon for 10 years because he's a self-published author that sells his books on Amazon. I called the homicide line multiple times last month on a case, and it was like the fifth time I finally got someone, and they weren't much help, and it said the case was transferred to another department. So the dude down here says that, wow, he was crazy, but I'm trying to figure out exactly what they're responding to. In another thread, someone posted that he sued your school over bullying. There was an old Seattle PI article on it. Let's see here. He says he's published 3 different books. One called The Great State, a playoff of George Orwell's 1984 with Ayn Rand's objectivist tone. Oh my god, he's a libertarian and he took the liberty away from a person. Who would have fucking guessed? Anyway, grossed $3,000 in sales with the objective warning individuals about the 2016 presidential election, identified key issues like discrimination against blacks during the campaign season, and was spurred to demonstrate a signifier writing style. Okay. Really weird that you were trying to argue that things would be bad for black people, but you were willing to take the life away from a trans person. I feel like when you reduce one of us, you reduce all of us. Probably a good idea not to fucking do that. Sorry, he was against Clinton, at least according to this. $3,000 or 3,000 copies? 3,000 copies, I think, is what it is. Let's see. Anything else here? He seemed like a bit of an oddball from his comments on LinkedIn, providing intelligence services directly to the White House. There's always some degree of self-aggrandizement on LinkedIn, but that's taking it to a new level. Current director of an intelligence agency that delivers work product to the White House. I am that job. A high-tempo, high-stress, perfect for the aggressive, preferably Navy sailor. I accept Army sometimes. He has a history of... Oh, here we go. Here's something. What do we know about him? The Seattle Police Department says he turned himself in Wednesday night. He was interviewed by the homicide detectives before being booked to the King County Jail. We don't know a motive for the attack. It remains unclear at the point of the investigation. I wonder if there's anything else that has been found. Usually this is where you dig through Reddit for shit because people will do shit on there. But let me go ahead and see here. The only thing that I'm noticing looking through people's posts for people who knew him is that they wouldn't say that he was incel or MAGA or anything like that. It was more that he had a series of delusions. People are reading schizophrenic. That one is from here. in UW, and people are pointing out maybe some form of delusional thinking. Just looking at people who've dug into him, whole situation is fucked. And I wish I could give you any better information on it. But there isn't a silver lining here. It's just me arguing to you all that you need to be ready to defend yourself. You need to be ready to protect yourself. You don't know if the person smiling behind the glass door is actually a friend or a threat. And the more marginalized you are, the higher the chances that they might be a threat. And I'm not saying that so that people can be paranoid. But nobody with an opinion worth its salt would tell a random woman to walk around a city at night without at least a can of mace. So I'm not going to be the one that tells anybody in modern day America not to walk around with at least some method of protecting themselves. I'm going to hop off. I got to go help Riverboat Jack with something. I got to go help Saki shop for pajamas. Because she doesn't have any, and we are required for her to be in them a few days before the surgery for obvious sterile reasons. Let me see where we're going. Also, one of my patrons has decided to help with the hotel situation. They had points for a local hotel, so the hotel for the con is taken care of. Tickets for the con are taken care of. We're going to be staying in the hotel after that in order to be ready for the surgery. So the only thing that we need now is food stuff. I just wanted to give the update on that. I think Dead Domain. Dead Domain's covering Juniper Blessing as well. Yeah, we're still going to go there. We're still going to go there. I just realized I'm still recording. Thank you guys for watching. That's about as much as I'm going to do on this one. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitta, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.